Okay, we're going to try this again. My internet just went down, but I'm just going to put an intention out there that it does stay up while I am channeling this. So I had just gone into the Akashic Records and they kind of showed me, like I went down onto the planet. And it's funny because I hit the ground. It definitely felt like grass. It felt very third dimensional. So it felt similar to Earth, right? Like that same level of density. And like I hit the ground and it did kind of feel like it's like all these little creatures. Like you would imagine, like if you went into like Mario or Nintendo, there'd be like little like Toad talking, right? Or like even maybe like a Jigglypuff, like Pokemon, like cute little type of characters. But they're all like, it felt like they were somewhere between like 2 to 4 feet tall, like small. And like you go in and you like hit the ground and it's like a playful energy, right? It's like you hit the ground and they're like, like, you know, like cute little voices and stuff. And it almost seems like they were like playfully like racing or something like that. They're showing me images from Wreck-It Ralph where like the girl, she's like in that game that's like they're constantly racing, like the Mario Kart type of thing. So it's like that type of energy when I go into these ETs. So let's see. I see Yoshi. He's like, let's race, let's go. But I definitely feel like there's one kind of like Yoshi type of guide stepping forward to talk to us. So he's like, let's go check it out. And so he's actually taking me away from that scene. It looks very like playful. And he's taking me to what looks to be like a little hut. It does have a mushroom on the top. So it's basically like a little house that has like a little mushroom for the top of it. And then it's like almost like the stalk of the mushroom. You would walk into the door. And he's showing me there is a family of Yoshi beings in here, right? So like the kids are like sitting at the table, like eating food. Mom's like, she's working, she's doing household stuff, but then she's also like teaching them stuff. And I think I'm with dad, right? So I think I'm with like a male Yoshi type of being. And he's going to take me and show me around the house. He's referencing like those reels that I've seen on Instagram that Caleb guy takes people around. He goes and he tours people's houses in New York City. Like he finds people on the street. Like he's kind of showing me like, okay, we're going to look at the home. And it looks very like foresty. It doesn't feel that big. Like it feels very compact and very small. Very natural. It almost feels like you're inside of a tree or something like that. Like maybe they like live inside of a tree or something. No, it feels like a tree house. That's what they're saying. Like the way the homes that they would live in, these Yoshi type beings feel like tree houses. And they're very connected to with nature, right? So it's like basically they can like walk in and out of the tree house, like and go outside to the grass, to the land. Like it's not like in our homes, it's very much like, okay, we're inside, there's air conditioning. Like there's a very big separation between like the inside and the outside. And with them, it doesn't feel that way. Yeah. And they like it that way. Now they're referencing, there was some dinosaur movie in like the 80s, 90s. It was 90s, I think, because it was on when I was a kid and I was born at the end of the 80s. So they're referencing it's kind of like that. So like these dinosaur beings are like more fun, like lighthearted type of feeling, like goofy, silly. Is what he's showing me. They do have somewhat advanced technology. He's showing me like they have a computer room. I don't know if you guys grew up with a computer room, but like in my house, my dad always had his like computer room and he like really liked to like build computers and things like that. So it's kind of showing me like this particular Yoshi, like he has a room like that, like where he has his computer stuff, but then he has like different parts and he's like rebuilding different things and things like that. So he likes to do that. That's kind of like his hobby. And it's interesting because like in this room, it's like, it's very like open. It's like fresh air is like coming in and then there's like banners around the top made out of leather. But it definitely feels like a control room and there's like, it's like there's technology like within and it still feels like, again, like this inside of a tree. But it feels like there's like technology like built in, more peaceful with like nature than our current technology is, right? So their systems are a little bit more like adept and adequate to like not being in conflict with nature, but being able to be used in conjunction with nature. All right. And they actually like video games. That's what they're showing me, which is funny because what is Yoshi? He's a video game character and he's saying that they like video games and that's why they wanted their race to be seen. on this planet as a video game character because they love video games. It's fun. It's a way they entertain themselves. Video games do exist in other ET cultures and other planets, but they're really into it here. Their kids love it. They also have to limit their kids' screen time, is what they are saying as well. But yeah, and they're showing me that they also like fighting games where you're like military and you're like, you know, at stuff, pointing at stuff. They're saying that they like that kind of stuff too. They have little headsets they wear as well. And then they also like, and I'm not a gamer, so I could be getting a lot of this stuff wrong, but he was saying like Xbox Live or that type of thing where you like play against other people. Like they have that on that planet too. So they like to play their games against other people as well. This place he's showing me with all the computer parts and like playing games, it's like he's saying it's like a man cave, like what we would call a man cave. So okay, well, that's cool to see that that happens on other planets. So okay, so let's see. Then he's going back down. Apparently that like man cave area is like on the second level, and then there's like little like ladder or stairs you can walk down to the kitchen. Yeah, it's definitely like a tree house is what they're showing me, like a very tall like tree house, which is interesting. How do they get down? They do have stairs, but sometimes they just kind of jump. Like there's these little stairs they can kind of walk or hop down, but then sometimes they just kind of like jump down anyway. They don't necessarily have to go down the stairs. Let's see. I want to see if I can get, because I feel like they do have, you know how Yoshi kind of has that, like he's like kind of bottom heavy with that tail. I do feel like they have that kind of like a dragon type of body. Like I feel like Yoshi's kind of like a dragon, like kind of like that. Yeah. Yeah. So I feel like there's some kind of like offshoot of like dragons. Like there's some kind of like dragon race. Yeah. Yeah. Similar to like that show that was like on when I was a kid, like Dragon Tales. Yeah, like that. Yeah. Okay. So what else? All right. So he's showing me they actually do have some type of group of like fighters or like some type of organized resistance type of group is what he's showing me. Yeah, like the protectors. They look like maybe they're like protectors of the community or something like that. And they give like Mad Max vibes. Like they have the stuff like strapped over them. They care and protect for their people is what they're saying. And they're kind of like, they show me like smoking. And I don't know that they're actually like smoking, but it's like, and like sunglasses and like Terminator. It's like the Terminator vibes is what they're showing me, right? With like the metal like this. They're showing me that. Yeah, definitely feels like similar to like, it does seem like there may be some type of like, I don't know, like gangs, violence, something like that. I don't know if that's really the right term. No, but there's some type of like they're showing me like in Asian cinema, you'll like see like the, you know, like the bad guys or whatever. And they're like, you know, there's like mobs and stuff like that. Like mob is a better word. Yeah. It does exist within their society. It's something they're trying to work on, but it does exist is what they're saying, right? So interesting, because that's like a little bit more okay, like not super, you know, Nintendo cutesy, because you know Yoshi's pretty, he's a cute little cartoon guy, but they're showing me their real culture, right? And again, they want it to be depicted in a certain way as like a Nintendo game. So okay, what else? He's kind of taking me from there. He's showing me now more like more of a feminine female type of setting. Not to say that that was all like male Yoshis, but he's taking me to like the other place wasn't all male Yoshis, but he's taking me to a place that is more feminine looking. And it does seem like they have some kind of like ritualistic or spiritual practices in the setting, like with the feminine energy, the flow. There's fortune telling done here too, through water and ceremony. They do like moving energy with like the hand signs, like that is what he's saying. Yeah, kind of witchy. Like they got some witchy stuff going. The Yoshi's got some witchy stuff going on too. High priestess type of energy is what they're confirming. Okay, yeah. Connection. Hold on. It looks like a connection to Lemurian energy actually here, which is interesting. Like kind of. They're saying it's like similar to Lemurian type of energy. Water energy, heart chakra, throat chakra based work. So they do some spiritual work here. So they have, right, they showed us all the technology they have, but then they're showing us the spiritual too. So this does seem like this is a society that has both of these things, which is important, right? More in balance. All right. So let's see what else. And this is where they do like healing, these more feminine type of healer, high priestess energy. Also work going from one side to another. So leaving the body, coming into the body. So birth and transition. Yes. They're saying they do that. And healing too. But they also they do have like a practice or a group of Yoshis that help prepare whenever someone is going to transition to the other side, like prepare the body, things like that. Eyes, like the eyes are portal, and like water in the eyes is what they're showing. They actually physically in this lifetime, this society, they help the consciousness leave the body, right? So that is not something that's done a ton here on Earth, right? There are some circles, people who like, there are specialist things like that who do that, but that's not like a widestream mainstream cultural thing. With this group, it is what they're saying, right? Is that they know how to help the consciousness leave the body when it is time. Yeah, and there's a lot of ritual around that too, is what they're saying, which is good, right? Because when your time in this body ends, and there's a lot of fear here, and we don't understand it here, and we fear it here, but it sounds like here it's more of like a normal process that they're aware of, and it and I would imagine that would make things less scary and easier, right? All right, so what else? Seems like they have festivals to celebrate the seasons. Like you would have like the midsummer festival, summer solstice, things like that. Yes, the feminine power is in revere here too, which is nice. Like festivals to honor her, festivals to honor, women, the female power. Does feel like this has a relationship to money as well. And it's almost showing me like they're showing me the images from that old, I guess it's an Easter movie. I don't know, but it's where, and I watched it a million times. I think I watched it every Easter growing up, but it's basically like what is it? It's the Moses story, and how they make into idols. I think they make like gold into idols and sacrifice women and stuff like that. They're showing me there's some of that type of stuff here too. I guess like typical like pagan traditions that we even have on Earth. There's something, they do some type of traditions here. Let me get a feel for how that energy feels, right? Like, does it feel like it's a positive thing or a negative thing? It's more like in a lower density. So let me see. Yeah, it feels like it's like it feels like this woman who's kind of like the goddess or the high priestess is kind of like showing herself, and it feels very like magical, like kind of if like you're in a dream sequence, or like maybe you've like taken some type of substance or something and you're just like a little out of it, or like feels good in the body, like feels like magical, right? So I don't know if it feels deceitful necessarily, but maybe like escapism or something more like that. Feels like a little bit of worshiping. I'll say that. It does feel like that. But yeah, it feels like the high priestesses are like maybe like goddesses types. There may be some level of like worship ritual, things like that around them, like making an idol of them within the culture. So I want to know if like the males are involved in this too. Okay, interesting. I feel like the males kind of let the females do their own thing. It kind of shows them kind of like watching maybe from a distance, like maybe they know their partner or their daughter or something is involved with this. So maybe they're watching to like understand or just to look out. but they kind of do their own thing. Like I kind of see the males like, okay, we're going to go play our video games, right? So it seems like a culture where it's like male and female are more like the males do this. I mean, I don't want to say like men, but like the male Yoshis do this, the female Yoshis, you know, do that. So it seems a little bit more like polarized, which like like because the planet does seem dense, like Earth, like you're going to see that more on a denser planet where like we have these ideas of gender and things like that that are more solidified. Like on Earth, we have this is what a man is, this is what a woman is, this is what they do, you know, that type of thing. We do have that. You don't on Earth, you don't have that necessarily in like higher dimensional planets, right? It's more like people can just kind of like be how they want to be, you know, and you can be like more male one day, more female, you know, like it's just not as like cut and dry here on Earth. But this planet does seem, it seems a little bit more, yeah, it seems a little bit more cut and dry. So let's see what else they're wanting to show us. They do have zoos there, which is, I just love when they show this stuff. Like they have like some type of like zoo, like of attraction. So what kind of animals? So they have, they're showing me like they have other dinosaurs. Cause I mean, he kind of looks like a dinosaur, a dragon, right? They have these other kind of like dinosaurs in the zoo, like a stegosaurus is what they're showing me. And they have, yeah, they have like a zoo with other dinosaurs there and birds. They have birds, which I think like dinosaurs and birds are kind of like more similar. Like T-Rex kind of looks like a bird, you know, and like I love Jurassic Park, but they have like flying birds and stuff. So they're showing me they have zoos where they have like a lot of birds. They can interact more at their zoos. Like at our zoos, like you can, I guess it depends on the creature, but like a lot of times it's like behind a fence, behind a glass wall, it's more open. And it's because they're more similar. Like humans are not that similar to like a polar bear or a tiger or like a crocodile, right? But like because the type of animals they have are like they're dinosaurs, and like the type of animals they also have in the zoo are dinosaurs, they're able to like, because they're so similar, like get up more close and personal. All right. And so what else? And they show me the children like to interact with the animals, which makes sense. I would say that's here on Earth too. All right. And then what else are they trying to show me here? Give me just a second. So it's like interactive to the point, and they're bringing up the Jurassic Park movie where there was like a theme park. Gosh, that one came out, what, like 8, 9 years? I don't know. But there's one where it's like there's a theme park made. Are they all I don't know, maybe they're all theme parks, but the most recent one where there's like not the old ones in like the 90s, but this one came out probably like 2015 or so, where they're like going to a new theme park there, and they're showing me that it's like to that level that it's like a theme park. Yeah, like it's like that's what they go for entertainment, is to go and to see these other animals that are very similar to them. Like it's like Jurassic Park is what they're saying. Yeah, so it's interesting because they're showing me that movie. They're showing me the girl that's Dallas Bryce Howard. They show me her character she plays, where she's like kind of the like corporate lady that's like wearing white and like Miss Prim, and she's like in control of the situation. They're showing me her, which is interesting. And then they are referencing, I do feel like there was like the stuff that happened on Jurassic Park. Yeah, they're saying like that stuff, like those theme parks, like how the animals kind of got revenge and like bad things happened and they broke out of the cages, right? And like all that kind of stuff. They're showing me there were like, yeah, there were real life events on their planets that those movies are kind of referring to, right? That are like, that's the way those movies tell us what happened on these other planets, is the Jurassic Park stuff is from their land, because they did have those kind of struggles where like the animals didn't want to be contained, things like that. And the interesting thing about Jurassic Park is that like they just keep making those movies. Like there's one coming out this summer. Like this is being filmed in the summer of 2025. I think it came out like 3 or 4 days ago. I don't even know if it has a number on it or whatever, but like they're showing me that that's like it happened. Yeah, several times. And like there's like cloning stuff in those movies. They're referring to that happening as well. We're not going to go into too much detail about that, but yeah, a lot of that stuff they're saying started on their planet. Anything I would be able to say? No, but just knowing that, okay? And then what else? There's entertainment there too. They're showing me like the show where they like Cirque du Soleil. That's the closest thing I think we would have to it. But it's like water show, and there's like swimming dinosaurs in the water, and then there's like these Yoshis who are like doing acrobatics and like singing and what, like Broadway or like Vegas. It's more like Vegas, like outdoor Vegas type of style. Yeah, but Cirque du Soleil, they're saying they have that type of entertainment there too. They fill up big stadiums full of stuff, which is interesting to think about, like Yoshi looking dinosaurs going in there. But it is kind of like family entertainment, the way they do that. That is family entertainment. Like the kids come in as well. It's not just for adults. Like they're showing me it'll be similar like a Disney World attraction where it's like there's a lot of family, like everyone is there, but it's like there's like a lot of families there. What else? Yeah, feels like they love entertainment. They love sports. They're showing me they're showing me the reference that the sport they have is most similar to is like soccer. They're showing me. Yeah. It's interesting because they show me them being able to run, which is weird because I do feel like they have this big, long, heavy like tail behind them. But they are showing me that they're able to like run and kick a ball into nets. Yeah. Yeah. And they're showing me that they do have sports stars, celebrities on this planet too. So like people who are really good, like, you know, the head of the sport, like the key player or whatever, that we would have like a sports superstar or whatever. Like they're showing me they have that. They're showing me they have referees too. Yeah. Hold on, let me see here what they're trying to say. Yeah. It feels big. Like it feels big. Like we have like the NFL and like Super Bowl and like that kind of stuff. Like it feels like it's big on their island too. Like they have this culture seems like, you know, like our culture is very much like male culture is important, right? Like sports are important and video games are important, and like, you know, stuff female likes is like frivolous spending, and the male stuff is like, you know, because like when I was in college, like I was told I had to be able to talk about like sports because people, you know, like if I was at a business dinner, I need to talk about sports, and I'd be like, I don't like sports. I don't care about sports. Like to me, that's more male oriented thing. Like obviously there are some women who love sports and that's great, you know, but that leans more towards like things men typically like more so than women. And like I was like, I don't care. I don't want to know about sports. Like I never watch sports. Like it's not my thing. That's great. It's for some people. But like our culture is very much so like me growing up in the 90s, 2000s, 2010s, like that's when, you know, male culture was seen as important, right? And it seems like that stuff is very much so also important to the Yoshis too, which is interesting, right? Just want to dive a little bit more into that though. But is it like here where it's like it's seen as more important than female stuff? They say like kind of it can be, but there is a place in society for like the female stuff, right? Which I would say like here there is too. But everyone enjoys the stuff together, which is good. And I think that's true on Earth too. Like we all, at some point in our lives and stuff, we all enjoy like sports and things like that. So, okay. All right. So they're talking about coffee shops now. So let's see. What are they talking about? Coffee shops. Yeah. There's like local businesses. I think what they're trying to get at here. Local economy, tradesmen, things like that. So there are like local economies. Is this like an entire planet of Yoshis? I think this planet is no longer in existence, or it's been damaged because they're showing me explosions. But yeah, it's pretty much the entire planet with the Yoshis, which is interesting. They have playgrounds, water parks. It seems like, honestly, it seems like a great, fun planet, what they're showing me, which is cool. Water parks. Water parks would make sense. Okay. And I guess they already kind of talked about the theme parks, but they're bringing it up again. Yeah, it seems like they also have theme parks like similar to like you would see with like Disney World here, where it's not just based on seeing the animals. Yeah, they're saying they also just have their own theme parks like you'd have to, because you don't really go to Disney to like see animals, right? Or Universal, like that's not the point of those parks. So they have some like that too. So it's really like, it looks like a fun place to grow up. Like there's a lot going on. They're showing me it's like so bright and happy and colorful is the way they kind of show it. Like it's kind of like it's kind of like fun. And because I have gone into and I know there's like, I've gone into past life healings here, and I know that there's like, it's not just all like cutesy and fun. Like I know there is like a bit of a darker side too, where like it kind of feels like Earth, because again, it's a third dimensional planet, but it's like you kind of have all this fun stuff, but then it's like you kind of deal with other stuff behind the scenes. Yeah. Because like I think that happens on Earth, right? It's kind of like, oh, like here's what's, everything's great, everything's grand. Like even in our own personal life, like people don't always talk about like what's actually going on with them. Like, no, it's okay, it's good, or let's just not think about, you know, our problems. And I mean, I think that's how a lot of us were raised, and then I think we're coming out of that, right? But I feel like their culture is very similar to that, right? That it's kind of like we don't talk about our problems on the surface, like everything's good, like a 90s sitcom, right? And there wasn't a lot of like therapy or like working through things and stuff like that, right? And I think that's why you see like those like rituals and stuff maybe kind of like outside it. Like it's like there's two parts of society, right? It's kind of like there's that one part that's like the female priestesses, kind of like they're like out there, but then like when you're in the society, it feels more like technical, or like what we would like more masculine, technical, like more like what we would see on Earth, right? So it feels, in a lot of ways, it feels pretty similar to Earth. Okay, and they showed me they had big factories. Yeah, they had big factories where a lot of them worked. What were they doing? Because they're showing me Monsters Inc., where they're like going and like scaring the kids, but I don't know what they mean by that. So let's go and see. They are showing me them like in Monsters Inc., you know, they go through the door and they're in like Earth or whatever, and their kids are there. They're showing me they are like hopping onto like other planets or something like that. Yeah. They have this like system similar where they would like move things with the doors, but it's like they are able to go into like other dimensions or go somewhere else. Hold on, let me get a feel of what they're using this for. They're dimension hoppers or something. They like will go to other planets through these doors. Yeah. They do that. They move, they have like these doors that they move through. Why are they doing this? Why are they going to other planets? Because I was getting, maybe it's like some type of scientific research or something they're doing. Now they're showing me something interesting. They're showing me that they go and they've like, I don't want to say like taken babies or something like that, but maybe they've gone and like brought different species or something back. Like they're showing me like in the Mario movie where like Peach goes through that door and like you can tell she's human, and they're like all like toads and stuff, right? But she's the only human there, like Mario is, right? But she's in this other land. Like they're kind of showing me there's something like that. Like they're going to other lands or something through these doors, which is pretty cool. And they're bringing back, and this is not common to see this stuff in a lot of the galactic history that I'm looking at. So I find this very interesting. So where is this happening? Is this in this universe, or is this in another universe? Let me see. Give me just a second. It feels like it's in this universe. Like the way they're showing me, it doesn't feel like it's in another universe. It feels like they're doing this in this universe. They're like portal hoppers is what they're saying. They can go into different dimensions, realities, galaxies through these doors. Okay. I think I would see why they would have this type of advanced technology. It's interesting. It's interesting. It doesn't add up with a lot of the stuff that I've been taught, but I'm going to keep going with this. Yeah. Yeah. They can get now. They can't always come back. They get trapped sometimes when they go places to these other realms. Sometimes they don't make it back. Yeah. But they do have the ability to like time travel through these different worlds, these different realms more easily than most E.T.s do, which is interesting. They can go in between. They're telling me some stuff. I don't know. I'm going to share that publicly. Let me see. I think some of these abilities are encoded in their DNA to be able to do this because of where they came from originally. My guess is that they did not originate in this galaxy, but let me confirm that. Okay, yeah. There was another group that was kind of kicked into this galaxy, kicked out from their universe into this galaxy they decided to come with. They had the opportunity to come with. They chose it because they thought it would be fun and they know they could come back and forth in between. So I don't know. These guys have like, they kind of sneaky, like they have some like separate powers. They can kind of travel around. Yeah. As somebody with their genetics, they're able to do this. And yeah. Yeah. It's their genetics. They're able to do this. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. Some people might think of them as scary. That's why I think they were showing me Monsters, Inc. It's not necessarily their intention to scare others. They do have that side of them that can be used, right? Because like if you've seen Monsters, Inc., like they go and they scare the kids. Like that's their job or whatever. They're kind of like detached from it, but it's not really like who they are. Like they're very like human-like. Like they have compassion and love and things like that, but they can kind of get themselves into that mode to be like the scary monster when they need to, right? So that's what they're kind of showing me that these guys can do. Okay. That's so interesting. Okay. Anything else about Yoshi that we need to know? So actually saying they are going to leave this galaxy pretty soon. I think that their planet has been, I don't know if it's completely destroyed. It seems more like partially destroyed at this point, but they are going to leave. So they want to make their presence known and they're leaving their timestamp as Yoshi on this planet, right? So they call themselves, what do they call themselves? I'm going to actually, there's some light language coming through. My intent for this light language is to show how they speak. Okay, so that's how they talk, which actually, yeah, okay, I see. Because the family they're from, I'm not going to say the name of the family they're from, but dinosaur family, right? So you can infer if you know, you know. And that some of the guides that, yeah, that I work with in my galactic portal chamber where I do different sound frequency and energy healings, they sound very similar to that. One of the guides I work with quite a bit. So that makes sense based off of the types of guides that I work with in the galactic portal chamber. So, okay. So that's what they sound like. And then do they have a name? Because I'm just probably going to call them the Yoshis because I like to call them the Yoshis. But do they have an actual light language name? Okay, that's what they sound like. So that's what they're saying. They're talking, they're saying their name. Let's see, any type of name. Give me a second. I'm really going to clear here. See if anything will drop in. Anything in, because light language keeps coming to come through. But what could we call these Yoshis if we wanted to give them another name? Bakshit Bakatan. Bakshit Bakatan. Bakshit Bakatan. That would be hard to say. More of like something that sounds like English. I'm going to set that intention. Something that sounds like English. They're not giving me anything. All I'm getting is light language. So I'm just going to keep calling them the Yoshis. They're like, yeah, maybe they don't want them to come through. That's why they just keep speaking in light language. So I'm just going to refer to them as the Yoshis. But yeah, I guess they're going to be leaving our galaxy soon. Anything else before I close out the session that you guys want to know? No, they're just kind of saying they're like, bye, because they're about to like leave. So they just wanted to introduce themselves before they leave. Yeah. All right. Yeah. They feel very complete what their mission was coming to the Milky Way galaxy. And they feel like they've worked through that. And now they feel like it's time for them to go. They're going to leave. They definitely have gone through enough of an ascension process to be able to do that, right? Because with most ETs, you can't just leave. So they are like, they've gone through enough of their ascension process where they are allowed to leave. Yeah. Yeah. A few will stay behind, and a few will continue to help Earth and monitor with the certain missions that they've been given. But for the most part, this ET group is pulling out. Kind of like Antares. Like they're pretty much, there's very few of them still in physical form. There are some, and they still are involved with Earth. And we do have Antares starseeds, but they're not that common. That's like, I'm getting that type of vibe from them. Yeah. Yeah. A few more of them are going to stay behind. The Yoshis, they are going to continue to help with Earth. They do have contracts to help with Earth's ascension, but then after that, they are going to leave and go on to their next thing. They're scouting out new planets and other galaxies, is what it seems like to me. So, okay. All right. So that's it. All right. So that was cool. I enjoyed that. I really did. And I found out some cool information. So, yeah, I don't know. I always find it so interesting to learn about these other ET cultures and why they're represented the way they are on our planet, and like what things that we have on our planet are kind of like similar to what they have on their planet, like Jurassic Park, right? Like, is not thinking about that. And I did not think that was going to come up, but that's so cool. So yeah, so okay, so that's it. That is a live channeling about Yoshi. Thank you so much for listening. If you're interested to know more about your galactic past lives, what kind of ET you could have been in a past lifetime, or even you want to talk to, your current guides for galactic in nature, or, your star family, I have all different types of readings that I do relate to galactic stuff. So we can go through your galactic past lives, your soul origin. We can also talk to your star family, and we can also do healings. I do Akashic clearings. I do sound and frequency healings. I do so many different types of clearings and healings too. So I'm going to have my all my information, if you do want to book a reading, which I would love to have you, is going to be below. And then also don't forget to subscribe. All right. I think the internet stayed up this time. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Bye.